Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank my honourable colleague from Dartmouth for his presentation and specifically for raising Via Rail. I've also gone through the budget, and the weirdest thing about this budget is, which is, pretty singular for any budget in Canadian history, is it doesn't include numbers. It doesn't give us the bottom line department by department. So in the case of Via Rail, for example, the main estimates cut by 60% Via Rail's budget. So whereas it had been $475 million, it would be, for this year, $187 million. That's a $288 million cut. The budget talks about money for Via Rail, $57 million this year, $54 million this year, rather, or $57 million over the next 5 years, but no indication of whether there's going to be supplemental estimate money that will keep Via Rail viable, or whether this is really the death knell for Via Rail, with a couple of announcements thrown in to be Band-Aids on a gaping wound. And I wonder if my friend has any thoughts on what is really happening to Via Rail in this budget.
Honourable Member for Dartmouth, Harbour.
Well, I thank my colleague and for picking up my comments on Via. It's a very serious concern for those of us in Atlantic Canada. The way the service has been gutted over the past few months, and we are concerned that they are setting the stage for the end of it. And it makes me crazy that this government does not follow through with any commitment. And how can they when they are not prepared to have a national strategy on transit, for example? When they talk about their commitment on skills training, Mr. Speaker, we are one of the only developed countries in the Western world that does not have a national skills building and training strategy. It's just deplorable to think that this government is going to solve the problems on skills training, for example, and they don't have any idea which way to go. Countries like Germany, that they like to model themselves after in the area of skills training, they have a long history of working together with unions and companies, and they have a national strategy. We don't have a good history of working together, nor do we have a national strategy on skills training.